because I'd just gone into Wagamama's and she'd gone, would you like the child menu? Hello and welcome to the Say Sue podcast with Kat and Tip.
Hello!
Yeah, that was a high one.
It was a high one.
I don't know why I started up there.
Yeah, it's gonna be right down there at the end of the.
Yeah, because this is my natural speaking
natural
voice.
speaking voice. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
Life?
Sun's out.
Sun's out, guns out?
Yeah.
Are you guns out?
I mean, nobody else can see, but yes.
Technically they're not. They are covered by your sleeve.
They're not. They're not at all. I'm just wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah, you're wearing a, what is it?
I beg your pardon.
Is that what it's called? No, you cut that. Is that not what they're called?
Like a string vest, yeah.
Don't worry.
Already, like a minute in, and I've had to make a cut. Thank you for that.
I can redo it again if you want.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. Yeah. Anything new? No.
Not really.
No.
No.
I've had a fun few episodes though.
Yeah.
Recently.
Some great episodes.
Harbour one last week. That was a good time.
That was a really good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed recording that.
Yeah.
And listening to it back.
And I think by the time this goes out, the episode of An Awful Lot of Running.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the same day. Same day.
Oh my god, you get,
because this is going out Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you get two lots.
You get two lots of us today.
Wow.
Yeah. Go over to An Awful Lot of Running podcast because it's just brilliant anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But B, we talk target novels and what Doctor Who stories we think should be novelised and or how we would novelise them ourselves.
Yeah,
and we had some really enjoyed recording that one. I came away from it like, yeah, that was really good. So many creative ideas being thrown around.
And you had some as well.
Okay, someone's woken up and thought they'd be witty today.
Correct.
Jeez. I quite liked mine. Thank you.
No, you had some brilliant ideas.
Yes, I do agree.
Yeah. But no, that was a really fun one. And as you said, Jack bringing the podcast back. Mm-hmm. It's exciting times, man.
It is. I mean, last week's was just as fabulous.
Yes,
Josh Carr.
Lovely Josh Carr.
They were
about
talking
Daleks Master Plan.
Yeah, Dalek missing episodes. So definitely go and check that out. If you haven't, I was like, go and check that out. You would have checked out. You listened to us. You'd listen to them.
Yeah, but go check that out, and you can have a double helping of us idiots talking rubbish. Yeah. Speaking of rambling,
what are we rambling about today?
Well, we've not really got any news, so we're going to sort of jump straight into the main topic, which today is a review.
It is a review.
And what's it a review of, Kat?
I'm going to spoil it. One of my favourite Doctor Who episodes ever.
Really? I know.
Really?
I know you really like this one. I didn't realise it was like a favourite.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
Favourite. Like, today's episode is, you know how passionate I got about Chimes of Midnight, how it is everything I want in a story and more. That's what Face the Raven is to me as well.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
And it's Face the Raven.
Oh yeah, it's Face the Raven. Yeah. Wow, I didn't realise it was that.
Yeah, and don't worry, throughout this podcast episode I will tell you in every shape and form why it is one of my favourite stories and why it has all of the things I love about a Doctor Who story in it.
Lovely.
Don't worry. Don't worry, guys.
In case anyone's worried.
Yeah.
So we're doing this because Monday just gone, if you're listening to it when it came out, was Jenna Coleman's 40th birthday. Happy birthday, babe. Happy birthday to the love of my life.
He stares off into the... You're blushing, by the way.
Yeah.
Why are you blushing? I've never seen you blush before.
Just really fancy Jenna Coleman.
I know. I've never seen this before. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're blushing. That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. I'll let your blood stop doing what it's doing.
Yeah. For reference, she is talking about blushing still. Nothing else is happening.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so we're we're talking about Face the Raven today. I was going to say, what were your thoughts going into this watch? But you've kind of covered it.
I mean, I watched it this morning. Okay. Face the Raven is one of those episodes where you'd think it would be like one of my turn left ones. In a sense of like, it's a comfort episode and I watch it all the time. Like whenever I want to watch a good bit of Doctor Who, I put it on. But Face the Raven is one of my favourite episodes where I can't watch it all the time, because when there's a good bit of distance between them, I enjoy it that bit more.
Yeah.
Like if I binged it, I don't think I'd still get the same like reaction when I've left a bit. Yeah. So I watched it again this morning, so I was fresh in it when coming to record this, and I sent you a picture of just tears rolling down my face. Cause
I did get a text this morning of a photo
every time
of Kat just crying.
It's so good. It's so well written. It's just the thought of having Face the Raven and then Heaven Sent and Hell Bent afterwards. It's like, you know, when you want to bite your fist, like, so good. Moffat was just cooking.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on general thoughts, and then we'll get into...
I really like it. I have not issues with it, but I think there's some bits where I'm like, I think it's great. I don't think it's like top tier for me. Kat's giving me such side eye. But I'll go into why.
Yeah. You're on the jury. No, you're on the what's the term?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
You're on the chopping block.
You're on the jury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you want to start with this one?
Start in the beginning.
And then we'll jump to the end.
And then we'll season the middle and at the end.
Yeah. So we open with I think that the opening, the sort of cold
really
open,
sweet.
But I think it immediately sows the seeds. I mean, the whole season has been doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Or realistically, Clara's whole sort of tenure on the show.
Yeah.
But I think it foreshadows nicely the whole thing of Clara taking risks and.
Okay, we're jumping straight into that. Let's discuss.
Well, it's the opening scene.
I know, but now I'm going to jump to the end too, after you finish your sentence.
Okay. Yeah, and then you also get the moment a little bit later on where she's hanging out the doors of the TARDIS.
Woohoo!
And giggling like a maniac.
And Riggs is like, she's enjoying that way more than she should
way
be.
Too much, yeah. And then you get that line from the Doctor of like, yeah, tell me about it, it's becoming a problem. Like, yeah, she's kind of gone past the point of that being able to be reeled in, I think. It's that sort of tragic inevitability of what happens in this episode was always going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of when, not if.
This is my favourite characterisation of Clara, because it sums up her whole arc completely. And I think that the graduation of her and development of her character from 11 to now has been really, really carefully curated. And I think Jenna has done such a good job at slowly building, because it hasn't been like a massive jump. You can genuinely tell her trust in, and I think it really does stem from the beginning of series 9, really, her development of trust and her relationship with 12 especially. You can see her character building and getting riskier and getting more confident and completely trusting that every single situation that she has been in, the Doctor has been able to get her out of it.
Yeah.
And she has just been completely reliant. And I think it's a really nice kind of, it's a similar situation to Amy, but contrasts really lovely in a way of the companions, because they get so reliant on the Doctor and just this, I don't know what the word is, like undoubtable trust in them that they're always going to save the day. They push and push and push and take all of these risks because they know that nothing bad's going to happen until it does, and when it does, it's always a catastrophe.
Well, I think it's even more for that in the case of Clara, because it's not just that she's going, oh, the doctor will get me out of this.
No.
It's her going, I'll get myself
I can get myself out of this.
Like, yeah. Clara
in 12 is one of my favourite arcs because I really, really like the hybrid thing of, I take the stand because I know it's never like, or I don't think it's like fully explained, but like my version of it is the hybrid isn't to do with like necessarily just the doctor. I believe that it's Clara as well. Just that
I think that's the inference in
I've heard different things, so I just like that's the one that I go with.
I think it's the fact that it's a little bit messy.
Yeah.
I don't really like the hybrid arc. I like
the concept of it.
I like the concept of the Doctor and Clara being this, like, being together.
Yeah.
Is damaging to both of them and everyone else.
Yeah.
And that sort of inevitability that they have to part ways. But the labelling it of the hybrid and it being a Gallifreyan myth and all of that.
I don't quite mind it.
Yeah.
I don't quite mind it. I think because it's a better version of the Impossible Girl mystery box.
Yeah.
I think if it was kind of like maybe seasoned earlier instead of it being like a mystery box.
I think
with Clara and 11. I don't know.
I think
like
for me it's the fact that again, I'm not a massive, I don't love the Impossible Girl sort of thing.
Yeah.
But at least it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if the hybrid is the Doctor and Clara, by very definition, that's not a hybrid.
No, yeah.
That's just two people.
Well, this is why I kind of put Clara under the microscope more. Because she does become the Doctor. There are, like, in Flatline where she doesn't just pretend to be the Doctor. She really is. And by the time you get to one of my favourite scenes ever, when she's talking to Riggsy in this episode, the best bit about this scene, when she's trying to get the chronolock off Riggsy onto her, Sarah does this scene perfectly because the dialogue is Clara explaining to Riggsy, this is the setup of what a Doctor Who adventure is. You do this, this, this. The Doctor will then do this and this. So I know that this is the outcome, and it'll buy us time, and we're all going to be okay.
Yeah.
So she explains that, and she's like, so this is how we survive this, whatever. But then the really clever bit is when Riggsy rejects it, instead of just telling him this is how it is, she does the Doctor thing where she starts to emotionally manipulate to get her own way.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, I'll explain to you how it happens. Oh, okay, I will do it then.
Yeah.
I will show you, so many different things that Clara does is so doctory throughout this episode anyway. And you can see her really enjoying that fact. But there are some really great scenes where even the subtlest moments and the things that the Doctor does that we know about and are flaws within the character.
Yeah, absolutely.
We start to see them through Clara as well. How she understands what the structure is, and we also see her perform it as well. So when she's dangling out of the TARDIS and she's getting really risky and she's really enjoying herself because she has full faith in nothing's going to happen to her because she's been doing this for how long? She knows how it goes. And especially coming off of the Danny Pink arc, where she's in that mindset where she is a bit more reckless and she's still trying to process things. And it changes her character a little bit, as it would. I just think her character specifically, and I think as well. I'll let you talk in a minute.
I'll just take a sip of water.
This is going to be chimes all over again, and I'm really sorry, but also I'm not. I think this is the perfect companion exit episode.
Companion
exit episode.
Mm.
Because it highlights her character so brilliantly. It's very, although fundamentally it's all built to entrap the Doctor for Heaven Sent, and it involves Riggsy, and that's how, you know, they pull the Doctor there, whatever. It is such a Clara focused story.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Because obviously it's her exit, so you've got all of these kind of building blocks to push the plot further in the background and the storyline, and then you move through into Heaven Sent. But it's such a Clara focus episode, and you can see development to end like seamlessly written throughout the episode. I really, really like it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because there's, especially because I think some people point to series 9 being like, oh, this is Clara becoming the Doctor, but it's been there from, maybe not from the start, but like, you know, I think there's an element of that. Even like Bells of St. John, there's just that little bit in the where they're sat on the balcony in the cafe.
Yeah.
The Doctor's sort of going, I'll do this, and she's like, no, I can do that. Like,
yeah,
I've got all of this information about computers in my head now. Like,
yeah,
I'll do it. You go get coffee. Like,
I think there's a difference. I see what you're saying. I think there's a difference between, I don't think that's her being the Doctor. I think that's her being a strong, intelligent female character.
No, but what I'm saying is from like the very early, that's like her, well, this version of the character is like earliest story.
Yeah.
First story. I think that trajectory is sort of from that point of like, no, I can do this. Then over 2.5 series becomes, no, I can be him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you've like all 3 series 8, like you're sort of shown that they have this very codependent, toxic relationship.
It's not, it's definitely not through series 9. I think maybe what sets series 8 and series 9 apart might be a thing of, oh, well, you don't see it as much, I disagree, but whatever, is Danny Pink. Because he's not a distraction, but he's there.
Well, see, I think that's what it is, because I think, obviously, series 9 is the toxic love story.
Yeah.
And not, I know some people do. I don't think of the Doctor and Clara as like having a romantic kind of relationship, but I do believe they are like platonic soulmates. Like they are sort of really just intertwined and wrapped up in each other. And I think series 9 sort of shows that codependency and how toxic that is, because they are so intertwined, which is the hybrid arc. But series 8, I think, shows Clara ultimately can't give him up. Like,
I was going to say, Clara doesn't give him up,
and then realizes that she can't, and it's an addiction.
Yeah.
And she lies to Danny about it, and tries to. So I think when Danny dies, that's her last tether to the real world, basically.
Yeah.
And now she's got nothing to
stop her or hold her back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now it is a case of, okay, well, she just throws herself headlong into these adventures and into the Doctor's life, in the fact that she's going off and spending all this time in the TARDIS on these adventures and stuff, but throwing herself into the Doctor's life by trying to live it herself. I think it's really interesting, sort of complex character psychology.
And that's what I love about Clara and 12's relationship, because you can't put it into one box. There's so many different ways that you can interpret everything that they do with each other, and you can't just put it in like with Ten and Rose, it's like Ten and Rose's love story, and then like with Amy and Rory, you're like, well, Amy's there for Rory, but then you've got like the imaginary friend situation, like that you can kind of like rationalize and put in boxes if you want to. But with Clara and 11 and Clara were 12, but more predominantly Clara and 12. It's too complex and it's too rich to do something like that.
Yeah, it's so layered and nuanced,
and I really like how they knew that and wouldn't give us or didn't even try and put it in about, like, when she whispers in the doctor's ear, everything that you want to say right now I already know, so don't even bother, like, don't even try. I love that because it's like, we know, they know, it's unspoken, we don't how in the space of already the one thing I really love, which doesn't take me out a bit, I'm aware of it, that is the longest 2 minutes ever. But how would the doctor even begin to put all of his thoughts, feelings and emotions into that 2 minutes?
But I think it's so much more powerful that it's just a look and again it's that thing of, like, these two are so ingrained and, like, interwoven that they kind of conceptually are a hybrid and are one person and one being force, like, that they don't need to say, because they do already know because they're so in tune to each other.
I think it's really, really sweet and shows Clara's character a lot as well. Look, we jumped to the end again in those in those final speeches. And it's one of my favourite pieces of dialogue when she's telling the doctor not to go off the rails. She's like, don't... What did she say? I say it's one of my favourite lines, and it really is, but I don't think I could verbatim it. When she's like, don't dishonour my memory.
Yeah.
Like, don't go out and seek all your revenge.
Yeah, you don't let that hatred come in. Ammunition for your rampage.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I think he needed to hear that so that he could replay those words over and over in his head when he's sat there thinking, I'm about to destroy the universe. 100%.
There are moments of that scene that, for me, feel very written. Like...
Go on.
So, like...
Because that whole section and then through to the end is just... utter perfection for me.
I love the subtext. I love what's going on. The performances are beautiful, and there's some incredible lines in there.
Yeah.
But I think, like, there are just some lines where I'm like, I can feel that that's a line for a character in a TV show rather than a natural sort of
fluent, like, thought process
thing that a human being would say. Which, so, like, the line where she's like, your reign of terror will end at the sight of the first crying child.
And you know it. I don't think that's righty.
I don't know. It's just quite it's like not a punchy line. But again, I mean, we've spoken about this before, about, like, how Moffat writes dialogue. And he's got a very particular style.
Did he write that bit of dialogue? I mean, I know he edits, but
that feels to me like a very Moffat line. But I don't. I've said before that I appreciate that's just his style of writing, and there's some stuff in there that I really like, and it doesn't necessarily need to be natural and stuff. But I think, particularly for this scene, where it's so raw and feels real.
Yeah.
A couple of lines like that, not take me out of it, but sort of my...
Yeah, but also, I think that Clara's poetic enough to say words like that. Like, we all... When especially, like, she's an English... Right, okay, I'm not, like, gonna, like, get... But, like, I know that after I've done, like, a writing session, my vocabulary changes. And I can get all poetic and all funny. So, like, I could see... Yeah. And, like, she mentions Jane Austen. Like, I know I'm trying to, like, clench at straws here. But
Trying to what?
Clutch at straws. clench my palate.
Don't be clenching at straws. I don't know what you do with your straws.
I don't know. I know I'm like clutching at straws here, but I can fully get that in someone's dying moments, if they want to get a bit creative with their vocabulary, that it could absolutely well and truly happen. And it's one line of dialogue. You know what? I forgive it. I think it seems quite natural.
It's not anything that I would be like, oh, it's just something that
she doesn't start talking like Shakespeare or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think like I say, for a scene that feels so organic and
natural,
really human.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but remember, they are stood on an alien trap street with the Doctor and a shielder and
but I think
aliens in the room.
But that doesn't matter to me, because I think one of my favourite things about Doctor Who,
it's reality
especially
aliens.
The new series, but the classic series as well, that you have, that's just a backdrop for really interesting, grounded, nuanced,
100%
human emotion and thematic richness,
which is exactly what Clara's character is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not a complaint. It's maybe a nitpick, but just personally for me, there was a couple of moments where I'm like, oh, I wish that was slightly more natural, just because that scene is like so close to perfection for me.
I want to know what your other little higgledy bits are. I want to know what your other little like bits are about this episode. Go on, just get them all out.
So I think the main one is that
shoulder.
I think the main one is, I'm trying to think how to put this, because I completely understand. I know I'm going to say it and you're going to go, but that's the whole point. So the fact that you get this trap sheet story and the sort of mystery surrounding that, but then all of that kind of stops for that last sort of 10-15 minutes of Clara's going to die. And there's part of me that really likes that, because I really like the idea that, you kill off a companion 2 episodes before your finale, and it's sort of a little bit unexpected, because she'll be in it till the end of the series, obviously, because that's how TV works. Like, so I think doing that and having it be unexpected, and also having it be a story that's like fairly low stakes, in the grand scheme. It's not some big like doomsday kind of thing. It's not a grand like epic conclusion.
No, because it's just a plan to get the Doctor there. None of this was supposed to happen. No one was supposed to get hurt. That wasn't the idea of it.
Yeah,
it was literally just supposed to be a trap for the Doctor, so that arc can continue.
And I love the idea that that's what kills her.
Yeah.
Well, her own hubris is what kills her, but the fact that it is what would have been a fairly inconsequential
and she made
story.
It as such.
But at the same time, there's a part of me that's like, oh, but the whole Trap Street idea is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish we had an episode dedicated to that concept. And maybe that's me just being like, oh, your B plot was really good. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I kind of wish we had more of that. But then that would be at the expense of
Face Raven.
yeah, exactly. Which is to no one's benefit. But yeah, that's something I sort of go, I'm not. Yeah, I don't really know 100% how I feel about it. I'm in two minds.
The reason, remember earlier when I said it's like just the whole story is just my Doctor Who story, like what I love in a Doctor Who story. That is one of them. The Trap Street, the concept of the Trap Street, and the execution and the style and design of the Trap Street, everything about that, I would and I do eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I think we need to start a counter on how many times you say that.
I love it. Do I say that often?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I eat a lot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. I love it. I love the concept, and of course, as well, of course, that you're walking down the street and you've completely not taken any kind of interest in this alleyway, and of course there's a misdirection there, and as you go through it, there's like your little perception filter or whatever, because there's all these aliens that are seeking refuge in this trap street that no one ever notices, and sometimes they slip through but rarely, and you've got an Ood fixing a Cyberman and you've got all of these just kind of like refugees, the alien refugees that are seeking refuge in this trap street that no one ever notices, and they've got rations, and it's all kind of like Dickensian in design, and it's just kind of like a little of course that happens. How exciting, how lovely. I would write a whole book just on that. Who's there? What do they get up to? What's the relationships like? How does it work? How did the quantum shade, how did Ashilda get that in what are the origin stories are there, because she said that she made a contract with whatever. Like, there's so much juice there. There isn't a Face the Raven novelisation, is there? No. I'll write it. There's fine, I'll get on it right away, because there's so much there, and that might quench your thirst for the B plot being so good, which it is, and you can just really flesh that out and then get into the Doctor Who of it all. But I just think there's so much there. It is so rich, and of course that would I fully believe that. I fully believe that everything that the events that happen within that trap street occurred. It's so good.
It's such a good just idea. Of like a hidden street that no one notices. It's a real sort of like fantasy idea. And you know, the street itself being, as you say, that kind of like sort of gothic, like Dickensian cobbled street. Yeah. It's very, not to bring up.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
You know what
you can think of something else. No, don't do it.
Well, I now need to say it for people that don't know what I'm talking about.
They will.
It's very similar to...
Better.
Diagon Alley from the...
Isn't it like the same set or something?
I mean, it really could be. It could be.
I swear there is like a crossover type thing. I feel like I read that somewhere.
That sort of fantastical...
It feels inherently Doctor Who.
But that's what I mean. I think it's a different sort of flavour. It doesn't feel sci-fi. Do you know what I mean?
But it has really good sci-fi elements in there.
That's what I mean. It's like... fantasy, but the explanations for it are sci-fi.
Sci-fi, yeah.
It's like, it's only the same thing as like,
73 yards.
We want a werewolf in this.
How do we sci-fi it up?
Yeah. But yeah, I really like it, and I think Sarah Dollard does a really great job of imagining it.
Yeah.
And yeah, even just the concept of the trap street and the whole, I really love that bit where the Doctor, Clara, and Riggsy are sort of, they go into the library and
with all their maps,
investigating, and Clara being like, oh, it's like a trap street, like cartographers do, you know, all of that. It's like, oh, that's a really cool little reference. And then them walking around.
I love their little counting. 1, 2, 3.
Like, that's such a cool. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah,
I've got to say, I'm not a massive fan of the fact that, and again, nitpick, that the aliens we see are like pretty much all recognisable ones that we've seen before.
Yeah, but you know what it is. Low budget.
What we got in the
What
cupboard.
have we got in the cupboard?
Yeah, I get that completely.
That is, it's 100% like Pandorica. What have we got?
Yeah,
what have
who's
we got
about?
left?
The Hoiks. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, go on. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is exactly what it is. And I don't mind it because I know that's kind of what it is. But I feel like I do agree that you could have some like more not interesting, but like some different monsters and kind of like, because already it kind of expands on the Doctor Who universe. Just having that there, you can also expand on your monsters, and they could have some really cool like stories in the future, or on audio, or in novels. Like you could really do some like cool kind of like side bits with them, I guess.
You know, there is the thing of like, oh, what have you got in the cupboard? But then also, like, it's only a couple of years ago from this point that they'd have done Rings of Akaten, where they made all of those like people in the street. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like it depends what gets repurposed, and
yeah, it's true. Yeah,
and like what would also, you got to think of what would fit the different actors that they've got. But
my thinking is like,
what survived.
I think what it is, it sometimes makes the Doctor Who universe feel smaller.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, it's a nude. Yeah.
That's what I meant by you could... I completely agree. You could have different aliens out there just to expand the universe a little bit more.
Yeah. But like, you know, there's a couple of new ones, like the
two that we meet
at the
front.
start. Yeah.
And the Janice? Not Janice. Janice, yeah. And Janice.
She
makes an early appearance from Goblin.
Classic Doctor Who character. I think there's some cool sort of things. Yeah. I even don't mind the fact that they've got the perception filters on, so they can just be played by humans most of the time.
I was going to say, because it's a pretty big cast, but we only see a few aliens.
Yeah, and I think it's...
And I love that it's the little worms.
Yeah.
Really clever.
It's
really
cool.
Love that.
It's cool.
Because obviously they use it for lighting, so they do use it in the street lamp behind, but they never fail to put a little worm in there, because I feel like I like spotting the continuity errors in Doctor Who, and sometimes there are some prop continuity errors, but I'm glad that every single lantern that I looked at, there was a worm in there. Okay. That did make me...
Nice.
Just well done production, really.
But yeah, I think there's... Because obviously it's a cheaper episode.
Yeah. Which is great, because it doesn't feel that, like, because it's so rich and so like drenched in such great writing and character and performance, and even looks beautiful. It doesn't feel like one of the cheaper episodes at all.
Yeah.
Like, you watch Face the Raven and you don't think, oh, that was one of the cheap ones.
I think you can sort of tell. No, I don't know. I think you can, because the fact that it's mainly on one set with the street, and as we've said, the fact that I think the whole perception filter thing of all the aliens looking human is, we can't afford to have all of these in every shot knocking about in full prosthetics or whatever.
Yeah, but it's also really cool sci-fi bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's creative workarounds.
Yeah.
But you know, knowing what I...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but like watching this morning, I didn't think, oh, this is the cheap one.
No, and that's not me saying, when I say like the cheap one, I don't mean it looks cheap, like, at all. I'm just saying I can tell that this is the one with the smaller budget. Yeah. But I think it works for the story, because then it kind of adds that sort of more intimate. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want like a big, like, spaceship base or like big planet run around for Clara's exit.
Exactly.
You want it closer.
And like I say, I think it kind of sets it up quite nicely to pull the rug from underneath you. Yeah. That it's like, oh yeah, there's this little adventure where, you know, oh, there's this...
This could never happen.
There's a bit of a weird tattoo on Riggsy's neck. Yeah. And, and we found a little street that's hidden, and isn't this quite... Oh, Clara's going to die.
Yeah.
Like...
Can I just say as well, just bringing up the actual death.
Mm.
I was watching as her soul left her body. Clara's like soulless dead eyes, like Jenna Coleman's like acting, genuinely felt hollow, and like really, like specifically, you know, I always watch on my phone. It is bigger on the telly. Watch on the telly. It really like made me shudder.
She's good.
Like, no, of course she's good. Jenna Coleman's great. But like just that one moment where it genuinely looks like there's nothing left in her and she's just a shell that's about to droop to the floor.
Yeah.
I got shivers.
Yeah.
Awful at the same time as being astounding.
Well, let's talk very briefly about that death scene, because that's another one of my nitpicks.
How it's cut.
Yeah.
Why have we got like that's one thing.
4 different angles
of the same
of the silent scream. Also the yeah. it undercuts it for me. Which is a shame, because it's such an incredible moment and such an incredible performance from Jenna.
Yeah.
I don't even mind the scream so much.
No, but it's the 4 cuts. And they're only slightly different angle.
Yeah, and you can tell that it's like they've just remounted for a different angle and then gone, okay, Jenna, do another take for us. Like, yeah, it's bizarre.
That's the one thing that I will say about this episode. I don't know why.
It's just to highlight the impact of it, isn't it?
But we already know.
Yeah. No, it's not like, oh, in case you missed it, she's dead.
Just in case you missed it, here's another 3.
Take.
No, I know, but I think just one of it going into her and her screaming and then literally just watching her drop to the floor would be more impactful than just seeing a slightly different angle.
Yeah, or like, I don't know, cut to, have like the one sort of close up and then cut to a wide shot of the street, and because you know there's some gorgeous shots and you want to show off that set.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a bizarre choice for me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. It reminds me a bit of like, you know, sometimes in like action films where there'll be an explosion and it'll be like,
and someone will yeah. Classic Who.
Like
in the quarry.
It's so funny to me to just like, I'm sure there's a gag somewhere on like it might be a Simpson episode or like a Family Guy episode or something where they just take the piss out of like, it's only one explosion, but they've set up like 20 cameras to get it from different angles.
They want to get it.
Yeah, but then they put all 20 shots into and then repeat some.
Yeah.
Some will be in slow-mo, some will be like, it's it's funny.
Can we talk about a shielder?
Let's talk about a shielder. Sorry, me,
sorry. I think it's like a universal agreement.
You know what? Watching this, I wasn't as bothered by her as I think I have been in the past. Yeah. Like.
Yeah, 100%.
And maybe that's just because I'm watching this episode in isolation.
Yeah.
And I think most other times I've watched
a montage.
The stories that the stories that she's in, I've watched sort of, you know, I've done The Girl Who Died, Woman Who Lived, then this one, and then her turning up in Hellbent, and
definitely some episodes.
But yeah, I think Maisie Williams is really a really great actor in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And in fairness, I don't think I've seen her in anything else.
I haven't seen her in anything else other than Game of Thrones.
But
I think that she could act really well in Doctor Who if she had a good character.
Yeah, I don't think she's... And there's some really good bits in here.
Yeah, I think she does really well. You know, when she learns that Clara's taken the chronologue off of Briggsy, and she's like, but now you've changed the terms. Like, all of that bit,
I think she's that
really
stretch,
good. Yeah, all of that's great.
From that point to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I don't quite believe this sort of like smart ass.
She doesn't give. I think the character concept and how the character's written, just in anything that she's in, plus the look that she's given, doesn't meet this like immortal being who.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, I just don't think any of it like meshes together.
I think
very well.
I think if it were developed a bit more, because I quite like the idea that she's immortal, but she's stuck as a teenager.
Yeah.
So I think you could maybe
very
explore...
Twilight.
It's very Twilight. You could maybe explore, because there's moments in this where she's a bit of a petulant child.
Yeah.
And you know, even though she's this sort of world weary,
she's like 100 years. It's like with Matt Smith, how you believe that he's a 900-year-old man.
Yeah.
That's what you need from a Shielders character, and you don't get that. It does very much look like there's a 16-year-old. And it's a shame, because she's not even 16.
Yeah.
She's, like, I feel her, like, I get ID'd all of the time. It's happened, since I've turned 28, I've been ID'd and mistaken for a child more than I have been my whole life.
Can we talk about the fact that you went out on your 28th birthday and
3 times got mistaken for a child, yeah.
Got funny looks when you tried to get into a 15 certificate film?
I was like, don't even ID me for this. I like looked him in the eye and was like, don't do this. Because I'd just gone into Wagamama's and she'd gone, would you like the child menu? And I went, bearing in mind, okay, first time I've ever been to Wagamama's, and I get met by the host and she's like, okay, the child menu. And I was like, no. And she went, are you sure? And I went, no. And then we sat down and she came over to me, sat next to me and went, did I make a boo-boo? Still talked to me like a child, by the way. And I went, yeah, I'm 28 today. It's my birthday. And she went, oh, would you like a drink? And I went, yeah. And she went, a large? And I went, yeah. Yeah.
What? Did I make a boo-boo?
She said, did I make a boo-boo? And I was like, are you still being condescending? Yeah, you did. I'm 28. Yeah. And then I got him looking at me up and down, and I was like, I think I just had just a mum look. I'm not a mum. I would never be a mum, but I just kind of gave him the mum look. Like,
but
don't
you're the age
there.
That you could be,
Could
so
be.
don't ID
yeah,
me for this
so
15.
Yeah. I was like, don't even dare. And then, and then I come back from London, went into Sainsbury's to buy, I think it was some snacks and stuff. And then she was like, what did she say? Something about me not being the age to leave school yet. And I was like, I'm 28 today. She went, oh, it's your birthday. I went, yeah. And then started talking to me about Disney. And I was like, I just want to go home. I've had a day of people IDing me on my 28th birthday. I just want to go home. So I fully
should have worn a badge.
I should have worn. You know what? That's exactly what Sam said. I should have made you a badge. Thanks. I am 28. I'm not 8. Everyone goes, yeah, but you'll be when you're older. Like, I was at work the other day. I used the computer and a customer went, oh, look, she can even use the computer. I'm not a dog. Even if I am like 13, have you seen kids grow up on iPads? It's not a weird thing for someone to use a computer, regardless of the age. They literally turned to my boss and went, oh, look, she can even use a computer. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I'm not a bird. Like, what? I don't get it.
Oh,
it's so annoying.
Speaking of birds, Face the Raven.
Yeah. Anyway, I understand.
That was another one of Kat's trademark tangent rants.
No, you said, can you tell them what happened on your birthday?
I did.
That was your fault.
Yeah, but I was setting you up for a tangent rant.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, so I understand that it's hard to look younger.
And be ancient.
And be ancient. I understand that, because that's me.
As you are.
Yeah. However, yeah, I think that she'd fit Doctor Who really well. I just don't think this was her character. I wish she was cast somewhere else in the Doctor Who universe.
I don't even think that. I think she could do it. I just think there's not...
the time for development.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if she's
I don't
know if it's that. I don't know if she's maybe not bringing her A game. And that, again, that's not to say that she's bad, because I don't think that she is bad.
Yeah.
But I've seen her be incredible in Game of Thrones. The work that she did as Arya, even when she was younger, I think she's even better. Like those first few seasons, I think she's absolutely incredible.
Her introduction to Game of Thrones was incredible. I remember watching it. It was one of the reasons where I was like, I think I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah, but maybe it's just there wasn't the time to develop it. Maybe she got directed in a certain way, but I don't know.
Do you know what talking about this? You know how I visualize Isildur to be? You know, in Game of Thrones, her sister, what's she called?
Sansa.
That's the kind of like vision and like hold and that kind of thing, because she's still young, but she has that maturity and that like hold about her.
Yeah.
So if you ignore like the costume and blah blah blah, like that physicality and how she holds herself while still being not immature, but a young person. Like, I buy that. I could see that here, but I don't get that here. She also looks like my school friend, which really takes me out of it. That's not her fault.
It's not her fault. She can't really do it.
She can't do anything. But I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, you remind me of my old school friend so bad.
You just reminded me of something. I know someone that bumped into Maisie Williams. I'm going to have to cut this, but I'll tell you now anyway.
There's this parasocial relationship that people have. Like, and I get it. But, like, fair play to her in the same breath.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean,
if that happened to me, I'd be like, you know what? Fair enough. Because she's out for a good time. She's not out.
Yeah, but also there's like they didn't come up going, I need a photo. I need can I get your autograph or whatever.
There was definitely a politer way that it could have been responded.
I agree.
Yeah. Isildur isn't one of my favourite Doctor Who characters.
No. And I think I do think the cynic in me is the guys over at the Doctor Who production office were going, Game of Thrones is big.
Game of Thrones, yeah, we need to get Maisie Williams in.
Yeah,
and I don't disagree.
Yeah, I think she's a great get. Yeah. And as I say, I don't even think it's like, I don't think she's miscast. I think there's a world where this works. I think it just needed more time in the oven from whoever that is. Maybe Maisie Williams herself, maybe the scripts and where they were taking her character maybe just needed a bit more development.
Fine-tuning.
Yeah, I don't know.
I also, at the end of Hellbent, spoilers by the way, the fact...
Spoilers for this 10-year-old episode.
I also don't think Clara could put up with me in a TARDIS across the universe.
Oh no, she'd slap her.
That lasted maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
Before she was in the time vortex.
I
also want to talk about Hellbent really quickly. And I only want this to be touched upon.
Okay.
And you know what I'm going to say. We've just explored Clara's death.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, in your opinion, that Hellbent undercuts it? Because this is divisive.
Yeah. Yeah. I was the reason I took so long though, I was weighing it up. I was like, I don't think of this story as lesser.
No.
Because of it.
Yeah.
But I do think Clara's ending undercuts her ending here.
I do wish she dropped down dead then, and then the Doctor had to take her back to her final moments and rewatch it again.
Yeah,
I kind of wish that. I wish there was a universe where we had to watch her die twice just to put the knife in the back. I don't think it necessarily undercuts it, but I do wish that it didn't happen that way.
For me, I think the fact that it goes against the natural flow of what it seems the story is. And the whole thing of like that the Doctor is so determined, he's so enwrapped in this grief and this loss that he spends billions of years going around in this cycle of killing himself just for the potential that he might be able to break free and then change time to save his friend.
Yeah.
Even though he knows everything that would come with that.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the ending isn't, no, I have to die, which I know it technically is.
I think I think it's a case of having your cake and eating it.
Yeah.
I feel like
exactly.
They wanted to do that with Clara to finish her arc because that's how she should go out.
Yeah.
But simultaneously, they also wanted to finish the Doctor's arc of being like, but I won't let her die. Because you could even like just kind of freeze the trap street or something in like just like a single second so she never has to die.
No,
Do you know what I mean? Like just something.
I think she does have to die. Like
I want her. I want her to die. I don't
narratively.
Want her to. Yeah, she needs to.
And I think you can have all of Heaven Sent and Hellbent happen where he pulls her from that time stream and he goes on this rampage, and the realization that they can't be together and all of this, and that's him having to let her go back into the time stream and he has to watch her die all over again.
That's what I said. I wanted the opportunity to see, not the opportunity, that sounds awful, but that's how I would envision that arc to end. Is he does it, Hellbent still happens, but she doesn't end up in a second TARDIS or whatever with the shielder.
Yeah, it kind of undercuts it for me.
I do kind of wish that we had to watch her die again just to really.
It's like, this is final. Like she's dead.
Yeah.
Like and that inevitability of it, and the fact that the whole thing is Clara dies because she tried to be like the Doctor and she's not.
Yeah. And
then for her ending to be, but before she dies, she's going to go off in a TARDIS with a companion.
Yeah, and she is the Doctor. Yeah,
that feels, I don't know. It feels like a 180 from the thematic storytelling you were doing.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to just speak to Stephen Moffat and just be like,
Period.
Full stop. Just to be like, so what was not in like a harsh way, like what were you thinking? But like just to know the thought process of certain.
There must be an interview or
story
something
ideas
out there, surely.
Yeah, but that's anyway. Back to the story we are looking at.
Oh yeah, I was like, it is. I see it as a trilogy. I know you don't see it in that way.
Yeah,
But it even says at the end of Face Raven to be continued, because the story continues through to Heaven Sent, and then the story continues through to Hellbent. So how is it not a trilogy?
I just think of it as like, I don't know. To me, they're three separate stories, but in the same way that like the Star Wars trilogy is the same story.
Lost me.
Okay.
I've never seen them, so I can't.
In the same way that the Twilight Saga.
All one story.
It's all one story, but they're separate films.
I think this is different.
But in my head, like, Utopia is its own story, but that leads into The Sound of Drums and Us the Time Lords, which is one story. That's a two-part story. Whereas I see these specific episodes.
Okay, and what about Turn Left then?
Turn Left is its own story.
Oh my god, you're insane.
It is. It's got its own, like, it's got its own separate cast, setting, like
that one I could like forgive you on.
I think that's part of the reason I think of these are because they're, I mean, different writers for Sarah Dollard writing this and then
but
Moffat writing the next two.
That doesn't mean anything.
Different director.
Yeah. So?
Different casts, different settings.
But we will never agree.
No, I'm not saying.
In the comments below, do you see Face the Raven, Heaven Sent, and Hellbent as a trilogy, or three separate stories with the same? Well, three separate episodes with the same story.
I'm intrigued because, like,
I'm gonna put a poll out.
Obviously, the story.
I'm gonna write a poll right now.
The story isn't complete. Like at the end of Face the Raven, the story isn't complete, I guess.
Exactly.
But I think you could argue it's just left on a cliffhanger.
No.
In the same way that, Twilight or Hunger Games or whatever, you get to the end of one film and it's like, and then we're going to pick up the threat. Oh, come back next year because it's going to be bloody more werewolves and vampires and stuff.
No.
That's how I see it. Like, in my head, if I were to count the stories and give them all like a numerical value, I wouldn't combine these three into one story.
Let's see what Twitter thinks.
Or serial. Story, it's one story.
Yeah.
But I don't think of them as one serial.
Okay, well, I've just put, do you see Face the Raven as a trilogy or 3 episodes about the same story?
Okay.
Yeah?
We'll see. I mean, when we had a break earlier, we sort of said, oh, this might be a shorter one.
Mm.
But not because there's not a lot to say, but more, yeah, I've only really got nitpicks.
Yeah.
And the rest is just like, that's really good, that's really interesting. Catch dropped her mic.
Sorry.
Even though it was stood on the table.
The balance was misplaced. I think this is one of the strongest episodes of Doctor Who ever, and it has every single thing that I love about Doctor Who in it. So that's where I stand.
Damn.
Do you have any trivia?
I've got, of course I... Do I have trivia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Give me some triv. Oh, what's it called today?
I'll tell you what it's called. What it's called every week.
Exactly. So what's it called today?
It's called Triv Street.
Okay. That wasn't a funny one.
Fact the Raven was what it was originally called.
I like that.
You like that better?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Fact the Raven. So I think this one's interesting, considering what I was saying earlier about the Trap Street story taking centre stage. This was originally meant to be either the 7th or 9th episode of Series 9. However, the initial draft was so well received that Stephen Moffat decided it should be the 10th, and consequently the one to kill off Clara.
I think it's perfect for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So originally this wasn't
Clara's exit.
Yeah.
That scares me a little bit. About the alternate timeline where it's not.
What it would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that plays into it so well. But that's why I think the stuff with a lot of the stuff with Clara's death is Moffat maybe writing it rather than Sarah Dollard. Not to discredit what Sarah Dollard did on this, because she's great. In the original script, the Doctor and Clara investigated the murder of Anna the Janus. In the process, they discovered that a Sontaran named Skarn was instigating war with humanity and had killed Anna because she had learned of his plans through her ability to see through time.
I can't even begin to tell you how much I dislike that. I'm not a Sontaran girly.
No.
I'm not
a
Zygon girly, and I'm not a Sontaran girly. I am human, you're correct. So that does not hit the same as what we've got. I think having a Sontaran... Okay, I understand what it is. And aliens live there. I get it. I think a Sontaran feels so not in that Trap Street.
Because you get that brief little bit, don't you, where one of the guys stands up and it glitches and there's just a not particularly well rendered, just like promo shot of a Sontaran plastered over his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, if I felt like it already makes the world feel a bit smaller.
Yeah, having a Sontaran in there.
So there's a deleted scene not included on any DVD releases in which the Doctor carries Clara's body indoors and orders Ashilda not to wipe Briggsy's memory so he can inform Clara's family of her death and take care of her body.
That's really sweet.
I really love, actually we've not mentioned, I really love that tiny little post-credit scene of Briggsy painting spraying the mural on the Clardis?
The Clardis.
That's what we're calling it now.
The Clardis. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, really, really beautiful.
It makes me want to cry.
We've not really spoken much about Briggsy. I think
he's just great. He's just a nice little character.
He's really lovely. I think he's a really
like
nice
him
addition.
in Flatline. I really like him in this. Yeah.
I think it's nice that he's brought back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the correct character to bring back for this kind of story.
Yeah, and I think especially just having him there subconsciously tying back to Flatline and that being the story where Clara was trying to be the Doctor. Yeah. It's really neat.
Yeah. Thematically, it's rich.
Sarah Dollard had been a fan of the series whilst growing up in Australia, and the ambition of the revival helped encourage her to emigrate to the UK to work in television.
That makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me happy.
The moment of Clara touching the Doctor's face and him kissing her hand is improvised.
Yeah.
Because Capaldi forgot his line.
Oh! I was expecting, like, Capaldi really felt this in the moment, that is exactly what the Doctor would do. And what this means is it's because he doesn't get the chance to say it, he kisses her hand so that she can feel his emotion. He just forgot his line. But I do like it. No words need to be said.
In one scene, a poster can be seen that depicts a flux capacitor from which film, Kat?
Back to the Future?
Correct. The writing on the poster is in... I'm going to absolutely butcher this, and other nerds are going to crucify me for it. Urabesh, the main alphabet in the Star Wars movies, which spells DeLorean from Back to the Future. Cool. At some point between filming The Woman Who Lived and this episode, Maisie Williams got a nose piercing.
Yeah.
Which is why Mee has a pierced nose, despite her established healing abilities.
That's funny.
And last one, in an early draft, the episode opened with the Doctor and Clara in a poker game featuring Jeremy Clarkson.
What? Wild
Bill Hickok.
Do you know who that is?
It's the fancy dress costume that Paul McGann steals. You know, the guy's like, oh, I'm going to the fancy dress party as Wild Bill Hickok. And then that's...
Oh, yeah, and then he just... Yeah.
And Jane Austen.
I mean, the Jane Austen bit makes sense. Jeremy Clarkson doesn't. What on earth would Jeremy Clarkson be? Not as Jeremy Clarkson. As Jeremy Clarkson?
No, I think as Jeremy Clarkson.
When would... Okay, what?
Here's if you think that's a bullet dodged, in a later draft, Clarkson was replaced with Russell Brand. And that is the end of Facts the Raven.
Yeah. Wow. I'm glad we got the Face the Raven that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is bloody good, isn't it?
It's really good.
Yeah.
It genuinely is really good.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what more there is to say.
What else do you want me to say?
Yeah.
I want to watch it again.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, sorry, I feel like I hope we've not done it a disservice by...
I mean, to be fair, all we've said is how much we love about it. Well, or I did, at least.
Yeah. I've got some nitpicks. But yeah. I was expecting you to...
Justified. Yeah, I'm not a really massive fan of Ishilda anyway. And I completely agree with the editing of Clara, because she didn't need to die at 4 just tiny different angles. And the Chop Street, well, BBC Books just needs to commission me to write Face the Raven, and then you'll get your extended story of the Trap Street.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I'd write.
There we go.
So.
Done.
And I'd also write the beginning of Briggsy and what happens with him as well.
Give her the deal.
Yeah. My email address is...
Well, speaking of, if you'd like to get in touch with us, guys, you can drop us an email at thesayswhopod@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with one of us specifically, Kat, where can they find you?
They can find me over on Twitter and Instagram at simplykatie_XO. Where can they find you, Tip?
Thank you very much for asking. They can find me also on the Twitter at Sun and Biscuit and on the Sun and Biscuit YouTube channel, which you may very well be listening to this here podcast on right now. If you would like to follow us, we are at thesayswhopod on Twitter, on Instagram, and on the Tick of the Talk. Where we...
That was TikTok.
It was definitely a tick. yeah, where you can follow us for like shorts and updates on what's coming up. We usually post our schedules for the month, so you can
when I remember,
when Kat remembers, so you can have a little sneak peek at what's coming up.
And if you want even more content from us, we're on An Awful Lot of Running podcast today. It will be linked down below, maybe.
It will.
Yeah, no, it absolutely will. Looking at our editor right now. So you can, if you've just listened to this and you want, you know what, I want more of them. Getting aggressive. And if you and if you think, yeah, I want more Cat and Tip, then go down in the description, click on An Awful Lot of Running podcast, and listen to us talk novelisations.
Absolutely. And then, if you finish that and you go, oh, my hankering for Cat and Tip content, it's not
quenched.
It's just not been relieved. I'm still hungry for more. You can go and join us. You can go over to our Patreon, which we have, which has exclusive content.
Yeah.
Bonus podcasts. We do audio commentaries and lots of other little miscellaneous bits and pieces. It's a bloody good time over there.
It's a great time over there.
It is, isn't it?
I miss Canine and Company. That was my favourite commentary we've done so far.
The first one we did.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That doesn't really set us up for...
No, I just really enjoyed it.
You also get early access to these episodes where possible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you fancy it, come and say hello
join
over
us.
There. Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you, wouldn't we? Open door policy.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
We do close it behind you and you can't escape.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And you do get handcuffed to the chair.
Yeah, and I will feed you novelisations with Jack, but...
Yeah. But it might be the one that she's written when BBC commissioner.
Oh, that's going to be tasty.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Kat, what have we got next week?
We have next week our very, very fun and interesting interview with Nick Briggs.
We do. Yeah.
We have the Nicholas Briggs on the podcast. It was a very good time recording it.
It was. Very much enjoyed it. Yeah.
So check that out next week. Stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely come check that one out because that was a really good chat. Really interesting. Yeah. Oh God, there's so much going on, isn't there?
So much going on.
So much going on. But yeah, we'll see you next week or in a bit over on An Awful Lot of Running.
Bye.
Bye.